Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, we'll let Melissa hop on here. Is Melissa in your group, Jeff?
Yes. Yay.
Yay, Melissa
My
Thornton.
first one.
Yay. So Melissa, there she is. Lovely Melissa. Welcome, welcome. So hey, this is kind of the best type thing. These are those that have chosen revenue share, recruiting, agent attraction, whatever you want to call it, label it. We're going to meet every Friday, 11:30 to noon. First and foremost, we're expecting that you're going to make your calls on your own through the week. And ideally, we're going to start out where it's 2-10-40. So you're going to have 2 conversations a day. Only 2, Melissa, only 2, Kim, but 2 conversations. We have found that it's going to take 10 to 12 dials to actually have 2 conversations with an agent every day, just Monday through Friday. You can do Saturday as well. You know, if you're feeling spunky and spry, throw in the Saturday. Sunday, you know, that's the Lord's day. I don't call on Sunday, what have you, but you could do 7 days a week if you want. I know Jeff, I don't think he does on Sunday either. But anyway.
Could I just add one thing, Matt?
Yeah.
Melissa, this is the very first time I've convinced her to come to an agent attraction call, and she's here. So I just want to say, I'm glad you're here. And if you don't get 2-10-40, you know, it's like when you teach people to do 2 hours of lead generation a day and they've never done 1 minute a day. I'm actually okay if you don't hit. I know Matt probably doesn't like to hear this. I just like to see.
Wait, let me stop recording here. Hold on.
Yeah. And you know what? Any progress to me is amazing. So I just want to set that out, that if you're here, I'm excited that you're here. And so hopefully that makes sense.
That's right. What do they say? To start a marathon, you got to take the first step, right? So it's like, you know, even if you're doing 1 conversation a day, you're ahead of those that are doing 0. But yes. I kind of like to have a baseline, right? And an expectation of just 2 conversations a day. I think I know everybody can do it. Everybody can have 2 conversations a day. All it takes is discipline, planning, doing a time blocking. You may block out an hour in your schedule. If you get it done, the first 2 dials, you have 2 conversations. You're like, awesome. I got it done in 15 minutes. I really connected. I had 7-minute call on another, an 8-minute call on the second one, and I'm out. I got an extra 45 minutes to do some other things. I got to do production, whatever, catch up, work on your business instead of in your business, etc. You could always do more, right? But that's a good baseline we found, is 2 conversations a day. Any productive, active realtor, icon level, whatever it is, can do 2 conversations a day. You do that 5 days a week times 4 weeks in a month. That's how we get 2-10-40, right? 2 conversations times 5 is 10. 4 weeks, 4 times 10 is 40. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to come here on 11:30 to noon, and we're going to go over, hey, how are those 2 conversations each day? Kim, how did it go? Troy, what were some of your wins? What were some of your ahas, right? We want this to be encouraging and uplifting. We have absolute professionals like Jeff on here, is a recruiting just beast before EXP and in EXP. You know, he built a brokerage of over 200 agents. He was the top team leader in the nation for Keller Williams. And then he's come and has got one of the fastest growing groups in all of EXP. So Melissa, you're blessed to be in his organization and have his leadership.
I agree. I am.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, so you'll make your calls and you'll share your ahas. Hey, I booked an appointment this week. I booked 3 appointments this week. I watched the video with the prospect this week. Hey, I have somebody coming on onboarding, and we're going to cheer each other on. Now, Troy was here and Jeff was here last Friday. So they've had a week of making calls. I did not make calls this last week because we were putting on our big Tahoe mastermind up in Lake Tahoe, and it was a 3-day event, and it was a lot going on to put it all together. Kim was part of that. So Troy and Jeff, do you have some exciting things to share from this week?
I do. This has just been an amazing week for me. You know, as I've been working with Randy and Matt and other people, and they're at a higher level than I am in terms of the revenue share model, I've looked at my own business critically, and I realized that I needed to have a director of operations myself. So I've been looking for one, and the good Lord put one in my hands. And this is like a perfect situation. I won't go into all the details. I know I only have so much time, but I'm going to be hiring somebody, which I desperately need because I've been working just insane hours, and I need that leverage, which is exciting. I this week I have hit 2 conversations a day at minimum. And I've been really disciplined and time blocked. My son had a white coat ceremony yesterday for medical school. That was the best thing ever.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was just so glorious. I had one conversation this morning with a lady. It went so well. I went into it with a different mindset today. I was thinking, you know what? I'm just going to pour into people. I'm not even going to talk about joining EXP. I'm going to talk about what their issues are. What are their issues? And can I sit down and meet with them? And my promise to them is they're going to walk away with something very tangible, something very helpful that they can put in action right away that'll help them significantly in their business, and tell them right up front, this really isn't about recruiting. In fact, I said this, if we end up working together, that's wonderful. If not, that's okay. I just believe in giving and serving. And so she was so happy. She's a lady her husband was disabled last year. And she's been in the business for like 5 months. And so she has a very, very big why. And I promised her next week, we're going to sit down. We booked an appointment and I'm going to help her with her business. And so this will be just one step towards hopefully someday working with her. So, and she was excited.
I love it. Okay. Troy.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Jeff. And so when you're booking these appointments, you're not necessarily saying, hey, I want to show you something. Can we, get coffee and do that? You're saying, hey, let's get coffee. I want to, hear more about you and give you something tangible to walk away with. Is that right?
Yeah, I try to do a little bit of a needs analysis on the phone with them and find out, what's going on. If I can get them to open up a little bit about their business, and ask them, how are things going? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being that you're not so successful or not getting a lot of results, and 10 being that you're wildly successful. Where are you? Well, it's about a 7. Oh, okay, awesome. Well, what do you think it would take to make it a 10? And then she could tell me, and I could say, do you know how to do that? Do you know how to employ those tactics? Well, not really. Well, I'd like to sit down and show you, so if I can help her close that gap, then I've given her value, true value. And then we can get into a real good conversation. So I either go down that road or I go down the road of booking an appointment. And if I feel like they're more of a high D personality and they really want to get to the point and they're maybe thinking I'm wasting their time or whatever, I'll probably be a little bit more direct. And I'll just I'll strike to get an appointment with them. And then I will do that relationship building when I'm sitting with them. If I feel like I'm talking to somebody who wants to talk and they're open and there may be a high I, maybe an S, I'm going to talk a little bit more during that conversation and build some equity with them on that call. So that's kind of how I do it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Awesome. So Troy, how did it go? Did you make your calls this week?
No, I was pretty far from that. I mean, I did do some. I'm realizing that, after Wednesday's call was with Eric Lofholm, and he talked about, spending time in urgent and important, and spending more time in the valuable things. And I would say this is more valuable. And so, looking at the calendar and your calls and Jeff's calls in the mornings, that is like, I just need to do that. I feel like I've just been carried away with business and I've got several under contract, which is great. But just feel that it just takes my time. Even when I started planning at like 9 o'clock this morning, my phone started ringing with inspection stuff. And so I need to start earlier. And so I'm committed to making those times in my calendar and doing that. But I did have some good conversations. In fact, even one guy was an investor called about a condo that I had for sale. And he introduced this strategy that he was trying to help his family member buy a property. And if they didn't use an agent, then she could probably save some money. And so anyways, I talked to him about his portfolio and he just deals himself. He doesn't have an agent represent him. And so I shared a little bit on that, but also I said, hey, there's some opportunity in the company that I work with. Like, you seem like a savvy guy. And so that was cool. I'll have a follow-up conversation with him just to teach him more about EXP. And then also a guy that I've been trying, had a really good conversation. I chatted about this last time and I just can't get a hold of him. And so then I sent him an email and said, hey, you're a savvy investor. I've got a question for you about this investor, this guy that I was talking with, and maybe I can connect you guys. And so again, like Jeff said, going this place of adding value. And then I'm texting as well. I've got 2 other agents that are kind of in my sphere and that I know. And so setting appointments in the next week or 2, depending on schedules. So again, going for the adding value. And question on this is, one of them said, she'd love to do something like a mastermind. I said, well, my organization has like 7 different going on right now. Could I bring in a potential recruit to a mastermind if they're not EXP?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Just set it up properly so they know, like, hey, this is all EXP. So they're going to be, just know as a guest that this is, you get a little kind of fly on the wall type thing going on. Absolutely.
Okay.
So, yeah, good stuff, man. Good. We're all about praising action and taking action and so on, right? So good job. You've had some conversations, had some text messages and so on. Sounds like you realize you want to, up your activity in your game even more, which is, I want to encourage you to do. For those that are on and recording, I want to let you know the schedule that I have set up and Jeff have set up to where you can hop on and hear others making live calls. I think it's really important to just have that accountability set up in your calendar. And then I set an alarm 5 minutes before each day, each day. So I go, oh gosh, I got Agent Attraction, and so on. Cause we get busy, we get pulled, all sorts of different things. There's things pulling for our attention and our time all the time. Right. Wouldn't you agree? Right.
Yeah,
so we have to be disciplined and set alarms and so on. So Mondays, 9 a.m. Is chatwithmatt.live. And you just type that in any internet browser. Don't go to Zoom. Just type it in like a Google Chrome up in the address bar where it says google.com. Just erase that and put in chatwithmatt.live, like how you got on here today. Tuesdays is with Jeff, and it's zoomwithjeff.live. And that is 9 a.m. Wednesdays, I do 7 a.m. These are all Pacific times, 7 a.m. till 8. So if you have some Midwest or East Coast people, you can certainly focus on those days calling there. And that is chatwithmatt.live. Thursdays, Randy Bird and myself do Agent Attraction, and that's at 8:30. And that is randybird.live. So that's 8:30 till 10. And then Fridays is 7 a.m. till 8 a.m. and that's chatwithmatt.live. And then Saturdays is 9 a.m. and that's Don Yoakum and myself doing Pro Insight with Don.live. Okay, that's his site. So that's the Monday through Saturday. You're totally welcome. We don't really look at like cross-line or, like Melissa, you're in Jeff's organization. Jeff's not part of our organization, but we're all EXP and we all want to support and love on each other and rise up to the goal that we have. So a couple things I wanted to go over. Kim had mentioned about scripting, that she liked the script that I modeled at the Tahoe Mastermind and what have you. I'm probably not going to give you the scripting on this call because I want you to show up to the live calls that I do and actually hear me do the script live. And then that way you can listen and write it down and so on and hear how Jeff and I handle objections and so forth. Because if I just give you the script, there's a certain cadence that I've developed over time. There's certain things you do. There's certain pauses. There's just certain inflection of voice and smiling and all this that you'll miss if I just give it typed out. Okay. So you're going to hear it live, Monday, Tuesday, etc. But there are a couple different scripts that we can go over. I can call Keller Williams team leaders. I can call icon producing agents. Those are typically what I'm focused on now because they have our belief is that it's financial malpractice for them and their family to not be at EXP, to be at another brokerage as an icon producer. Now, I also covered edification in regards to the, hi, babe. I also covered edification at the Tahoe Mastermind. And what I realized, some people in the pool, the meeting after the meeting and all this house was amazing. It had indoor swimming pool and all this stuff. She said, yeah, I was trying to figure out what edify was and edification. And I said, oh, I assumed everybody knew, right? So edification, or to edify, is to lift up or to give greater value to something, right? You're lifting it up in someone's mind, you're giving it value, giving it worth, etc. And so you want to edify your success team, which are the people above you. So Melissa, that would be Jeff. You need to know his story. You want to know, I just drew a blank on, well, you got Angela and Fazio, Chuck, but then you have Curtis Johnson. Yeah, how could I forget him? So you want to know their stories and get to know them well so that you can easily transition to edifying your success team or your business partners. Okay. The other thing is you want to edify the tools. It's not just about edifying the people, it's about edifying the tools, like the video, right? The greater you speak about the video and edify and raise it up and put value on it, your prospect is going to want to really take the time to watch the video. And when you're showing a 35-minute video to a busy producing agent, if you have not properly edified it, they're going to put it low priority on their mind. But if you learn to edify it well, okay, then they're going to have it where they really desire to watch it with you. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the video is at themodelexplain.com. Now, I do not go to themodelexplain.com and watch the video with my people. Now hear me. Okay. Do I use that video? 100% of the time I use that video, but I do not go to the website and watch the video with my people. The reason is Wi-Fi can be sketchy. It can be on, it can be off, and so on. So if you go to that website, there is a link down below that says download the video. You should download that onto your computer, your laptop. That way you're not Wi-Fi dependent. You have it on your computer at any given time, and you can literally be dangerous. You run into someone, Troy, getting a coffee, and he's a commercial realtor or whatever, and you guys connect, and you're like, hey, you're going to grab a coffee here and sit down? Yeah, here, I got my laptop. Let me show you this. Boom, you flip it up and you're ready to go. No searching for Wi-Fi and all that. Okay. Now, the other thing is you really need to know your success team, your people above you, your success partners, business partners, their Calendly link. You need to know their calendars. And it should be up and running when you have finish the video. You should have a plan after the video on where you take your prospect next. And the plan is not that they have more time with you. That's a huge mistake. Because the more time they have with you, the less likelihood of them being a successful recruiter when they get in. And the reason I say that, it's not because you're not great and so on, you probably are, but it's the concept of taking it from goal line to goal line, and you're doing everything to get them into the touchdown. They will recruit how they were recruited. And so if you were the one that was taking them start to finish and had all the answers to the questions and knew everything, then they will get ready and never start recruiting. Does that make sense, Melissa? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and people that get started in the business, sometimes they feel like they're not ready to recruit because they don't have all the answers. And that's where edification comes into play, in that if you can talk about your business partners and just all the accolades and everything that's amazing about them, which you have a lot, Melissa, with Jeff and Curtis and so on, well, then you're just simply the person holding their hand, taking them through the process and guiding them, to the various steps along the way. You don't have to have the answers. You just have to be the person that's connected to know the people, right? It's almost like there's a long line into the hottest club in town and the doorman. You're like, oh, we don't stay in line. Here, come with me. Come on, let's go around. Boom. Hey, I'm Melissa. Yeah. This is, he's with me. She's with me. Oh yeah, go on in, Melissa. Chuck's in there. Jeff's in there, right? Curtis is in there. You get the concept. So, yeah. And then we talked about, and so you'd want to set it up on their Calendly link with your prospect to do either a 3-way call or a 3-way Zoom. Ideally, Zoom is better, but if worst case scenario, a call is better than nothing. And when you get on the call or the Zoom, you're going to edify your leader, your business partner, right? So let's say Troy is my prospect and Jeff is my my business partner, right? So I'm gonna edify Jeff before getting on the Zoom, okay, with my prospect. So Troy's like, yeah, I really want to get on. So it'd be something like this. I'd say, hey, Troy, I really want to introduce you to one of my business partners, Jeff Sutherland. He's just an amazing man, has a huge heart, loves people, loves helping people win, but he's also super accomplished in real estate. I mean, he built a brokerage to over 200 agents. He was a top Keller Williams team leader in the entire nation. He's an icon producer, so he has significant ownership in the current company that we represent, EXP, year after year. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. He's absolutely incredible. He's a real estate coach and he loves pouring into people. And so I really want to connect you guys. He's not a closer or anything like that. Don't worry about that. He just says when I have, people that I've run into that are showing interest, that are sharp, so on, he'd love to say hi to him and meet him. If I could get him on for 5 or 10 minutes, I mean, he's busy, right? Of course you are too, but if I could get him on 5 or 10 minutes, would you take that call?
Yeah, let's do it.
Pretty hard to say no, right? You go, gosh, I kind of want to meet this guy, right? Great. So let me go ahead, and I already have it up and running. I move my screen. I go, oh, you know what? As I said, he's busy. Today's Friday. His first available is Tuesday, and he's got 2 or 4, always this or that, right? What's better for you? Oh, 2 o'clock. Great. Okay. Let's just book it now before somebody else takes it, because he's got a busy schedule. Boom, Tuesday, 2 o'clock. Okay, Troy, I'm really looking forward to you meeting him, right? Now, then I do a follow-up text Monday before bed, say, hey, super, and I do a 3-way text, Jeff, me, and you, Troy. I say, hey, Troy, I'm super excited for you to meet my business partner, Jeff. To know Jeff is to love Jeff. You guys are going to really hit it off. Remember, it's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Okay, we'll see you then. And then, it's Zoom with Jeff.live. Boom. And that's that friendly reminder the day before, because he's got the weekend, right? You're busy on the weekend, family, Monday, you may space it on Tuesday. And then usually an hour or 2 before the appointment on Tuesday, say like noon or 11 o'clock, I'll say, hey, looking forward to you meeting Jeff. See you in about 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever it is, Zoom with Jeff.live. Okay. Now, when we get on the Zoom, I say, hey, Jeff, I'm super excited to introduce you to Troy. Troy's a producer out of Colorado. He's doing, between 20 and 30 units. And he's really just intrigued about this model. He's got his learning hat on. He's not ready to make a commitment or anything. We just said he's going to keep his learning hat on, but I couldn't think of anybody better than for him to connect with you and your experience and, why you ultimately chose EXP and so forth. So I'm excited for you to meet Troy, and Troy, I'm excited for you to meet Jeff. So let me step out of the way so you guys can connect, and then I hit mute, right? I don't say anything else, because once I edify someone, when I talk, I de-edify them now, because in your mind as the prospect, Troy, you go, wow, why does Matt keep interrupting Jeff? Or he's answering the questions that I have to Jeff, or he's correcting Jeff because Jeff said something that was incorrect or whatever, right? That's a huge mistake, because now Jeff is no longer the expert. I worked so hard to build him up as the expert for you to listen, that when I talk, you go, as a prospect, you go, man, Matt seems to know the answers. I don't know why I'm talking to this Jeff guy. Maybe I'll just talk to Matt. And then that's it. Now I'm taking you goal line to goal line, and hopefully you come in. And if you come in, you're going to do, just like how you were recruited. So that's why it's key that we edify properly, and then we hit the mute button and let the expert do all the work. Now, lastly, we got a couple minutes more. I just want to finish up this, because this is a bonus to you, Kim. I didn't share this in front in Tahoe. There's what's called the success triangle in regards to edification, and it's really powerful. So that same example, Jeff is my expert, Troy's my prospect, right? So what's interesting is Troy and I have relationship. So he has trust with me. So if you want to draw a triangle and have, Troy, Jeff, and me, Troy and I have trust, but he may not respect me, because maybe we're too close, or he does more volume than me, or this or that. He doesn't respect me, but he trusts me. He knows I'm not going to screw him or lead him astray or whatever, more than likely. Okay. But when I edify my expert, Jeff, to Troy, now Troy's going to respect Jeff. He doesn't trust Jeff because he doesn't know Jeff. He trusts me, but he doesn't respect me. But he respects Jeff because of how I edified properly Jeff, but he doesn't trust Jeff. So when you put Jeff and I together in that triangle, I bring the trust, Jeff brings the respect, and now we have something really magical because there's trust and respect together. And Jeff can move Troy.
What a beautiful way to put that. That's great.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, well, I want to keep it to 30 minutes because we're all super busy. I know Jeff's got tons of accountability and this and that and so on. And it took so much for me to even get him to come on here. I love it because he's pulled in many directions from a lot of
you've got me now, Matt. That was a great lesson. Thank you so much.
I love your Zooms that we did, the live calls. The way that you just made it look so easy after those few calls, and then got that one lady on the phone and she's like, oh yeah, sure. It just makes it sound so easy.
Yeah, we had a good time last week, Matt, as you guys were in Tahoe. It was a good session.
Yeah. Nice. Kim, were you on his calls with Jeff?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I've been doing about 15 to 25 calls a day.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I talked to 15 and I have 7 follow-up appointments. And then I'm inviting them to all the Fun Build conference and the free challenge and all that kind of fun stuff right now. And they're all in it because they're all in my Bye Bye Cali relocation network. So it's been so exciting.
So you've built the trust. You might even have respect, but definitely the trust.
I need them to connect with Don and Tom.
Now the secret sauce is edifying Tom, Don, right?
Yeah.
Now you got that success triangle of the trust and respect.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Melissa, any ahas or anything you want to share as you're drinking from a fire hose here, your first one?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm excited to listen to some of these calls because I haven't. So maybe I'll have more questions after that. But no, I am excited to. And then also though, where is everyone getting all these agents to contact for?
Yeah, I had that on my list too. So who to call. So our organization has only 4 people that we really focus on calling. Not everybody does this, what I'm sharing with you. So, talk to your success coach and so on, business partner, Jeff. Okay. But we've identified that it's Keller Williams team leaders, past or present, production team leaders, okay, icon producers, or a real estate coach that ideally has been one of the previous 3. Production team leader, Keller Williams team leader, or icon producer. Those are the 4 that we focus. We don't call anyone else. Now, are there a lot of other realtors out there? Oh, good Lord, yes, right? So you can identify, you could go in your MLS, for example, and search for the last 12 months closing production of, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, 8 million, 10 million, whatever your sweet spot is, and just kind of pull that up. You might even call your MLS and say, hey, I'm struggling. Would you help me on your tech support, whatever? Would you help me? I want to get a list of some of these producers in my marketplace. We want to create a mastermind.
Even your title company can help too.
Title company can do it as well. Another place that's really good, you probably get those emails called Ideal Estate. I would start it out calling those and just saying, hey, thank you so much for your email and wanting to connect. And they're like, what? Because by the way, Ideal Estate just randomly sends out emails saying, hey, somebody wants to connect with you. And it's just totally a way for them to build their network within Ideal Estate. So I'd say, hey, Jeff, I don't know if we know each other, but you obviously sought me out and sent me an email saying, you wanted to connect with me. It looks like you're up in Phoenix and, I'm up in Sacramento. So that's great. Now he's going to be like, what? Who are you? I did what? I go, yeah, you sent me an email. It says you want to connect. I don't think I did. I go, yeah, it was through Ideal Estate, right? Do you get that? Wait, you're saying you didn't send it out? No, I didn't send it. Oh, I wonder if they're just automatically connecting us through the platform. Well, yeah, that must be, gosh, that's amazing. Well, anyway, hey, let's take advantage of it. It sounds like you're quite a producer in Phoenix and I'm up in Sacramento. T-May, T-M-A-Y. Tell me about yourself. Total easy transition into it. I'm not a threat because I'm reaching out thinking that he emailed me. And he's like, nope, I didn't email you. And I go, well, gosh, okay, shoot. Well, a little about myself. I've been a broker. I've been selling for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is, your story. Tell me about you. And then you shut up and let them talk. And then that's building trust and connection. And then at the certain time that you feel appropriate, it may not be the first call, you'll figure out when it'll be good to, maybe put your script in there. Now, you've done your script so many times because you've done so many calls, it doesn't sound like a script. It just flows and, all that. So anyway, we're past the time. Any last thoughts you want to share, anyone? And I'll let Jeff close it out. So Troy, Kim, Melissa, any last thoughts?
Nope. Just thank you so much for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And we're here every Friday from 11:30 to noon, 30 minutes power session. You're going to be hearing from the winners. Now, on the next ones, when we say, tell me something great, we don't need all the ins and outs of the story and the background of your prospect and all that. Let's try to get it where we're more bullet point, boom, 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 because the idea is we're going to get more people coming on here, and 30 minutes goes really fast. So it's got to be like 30 seconds. We may even have like a little horn, sorry, you didn't get to the point. Next one, whatever. We'll see how it goes. So,
hey, Melissa, where are you from?
I'm in Arizona right now, and surprised, but I'm actually going to be around mid-August in North Carolina near Charlotte, Denver area.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And go ahead, Troy.
I was going to say something that I've found that works really well, in addition to KW Agents, because it's a sister company, easier to recruit. I think these guys would say, is someone finds an affiliate market that's just down, a couple hours away, or a good referral market, and lead with, hey, I'm looking for a referral partner. Like, tell me about yourself. Let's get to know each other. And I think that can be a good way to build that trust.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think after today, hopefully you felt that the spirit of what Matt and I are trying to do is about teaching and mentoring and helping. So, this doesn't have to be a spooky thing. So I would encourage you to tell people that are in our organizations, especially, to come, because we just want to help people grow. And I love it. Matt dropped some really, really good stuff today. I'm thankful. I'm blessed. It's Friday. It's a good way to end the week and next week. So move the needle, right? Move the needle so we can come in. And Melissa, I want you to be able to say next week you had a couple of these conversations. How about that?
I will.
And by the way, I'll leave 2 conversations are not always just on the phone. It could be a reach out on Facebook, and now you're connecting back and forth, on Facebook Messenger. It can be text messages back and forth or what have you. I mean, ideally, my belief is that the best would be in person, followed by on a Zoom with camera on, so you can see smiles and, and just energy. And then I guess there'd also be video chat in there on your phone. I'd throw that in there too. And then phone conversation. And then probably the worst or least best, I guess, would be Facebook Messenger or texting. Because there's a lot of misinterpretation if it's just text. You don't know the tone and all this stuff. But it's better than nothing, right?
Yep.
So.
Yep. Thanks,
all right, you guys. Hey, have a great Friday. We are calling tomorrow 9 a.m. on Pro Insight with Dawn.live. That's Pacific time. We'll see you guys later. Make it a great day.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Matt. Great job.
All right. Bye-bye.